Welcome back to Finnish Made Easier. Today we're going to be talking about turning verbs into questions. Sometimes when we're talking, instead of saying you are, we might want to say are you? Or instead of saying you understand, we might want to say do you understand? And in Finnish, there's a really simple way to do this, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So you might have seen this around sometimes, but we have this ending, a KO. When we put this onto any verb, once it's already conjugated, it turns it into a question. So I have this example here, oletko. We can see the two parts of this word. We have olet, which is the conjugated version, and then there's just a ko put right on the end there. That makes it into a question. So olet is you are, and oletko is are you. Another thing you might notice is the oletko is before the sina. Whenever we're adding this ko onto anything, whatever has the ko goes usually to the start of the sentence. So instead of saying sina olet, it becomes oletko sina. Usually put at the start, kind of similar to like in English, how we say are you versus you are, we kind of move the order around when we make it into a question. So it becomes oletko sina. So we form this by just conjugating fully whoever we want to be doing it. If I wanted to say am I could say olenko with the N, but I can just conjugate it to whoever's doing it, olen, olet, olemme, and then I add the ko. And you can do this with any verb too, like this example I have here, the word to want, haluta. Maybe if I want to ask someone, do you want something, then the first step would be to conjugate it to say you want. So we go from haluta to haluat. And then if I want to change that into a question, so it's not just you want, it's do you want, then just like before, I just add a ko. Haluat ko. Haluat ko. And again, we then move it to the start of the sentence. So if we were saying sina haluat, it'd be haluat ko sina. Next example, if I'm asking someone if they like something, we have the word for to like is tykätä. And then if I want to ask, do you like it? Then I'm going to first conjugate it to that, tykät, and then I'm going to just add a ko right at the end. Tykät. Tykätkö. You might notice I added the dots on the O here. It's not just a normal O. If you're curious why I did that, I have a video on something called vowel harmony. If you watch that, then you'll understand why the O has a dot, that has the dots there and doesn't have any dots on that one. But yeah, so do you like would be tykätkö, just you like with a ko at the end. And then of course, if I wanted to say do they like, I could just say tykävätkö. So I just have to change the ending on that, just conjugate it differently. And this works also with any different kind of, if it's past tense, if it's conditional, anytime you've conjugated a word at all, you can still just add the ko on the end. So if you have a word that's conjugated into past tense, then you can still put the ko on it. If you have a word that's conditional or any other sort of form, you can always just put a ko right on there and it will turn it into a question. The only one that's going to be slightly different is going to be when they're negatives. So obviously we have uida and et ui. So this one, just like how when we were doing the conjugation, how we didn't add any endings onto this ui, onto the verb, we only kind of changed this no word. We're also going to add the ko onto the no word. So if we're using a negative, and I want to say, do you not swim? I could say, etkö ui. So we put the ko on the no word. And again, if you wanted to still say sina in this context, you'd say sina et ui, and then it'd be etkö sina ui. So the thing with the ko goes back to the very beginning. But yep, it's as simple as that. Really, we just add ko's onto whatever we want to make into a question, and it's really simple, and just move it to the start of the sentence. But I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, you can feel free to leave them in the comments, but I'll see you in the next video. Hei,